Auzubillahiminash-shaytanir-rajim. Bismillahir-rahmanir-rahim. In previous lectures, we discussed about different levels of organizations, starting from your subatomic level, atomic level, then we moved on towards the cell level, and then we moved towards the tissues, and tissues towards the organs, organs towards the organ system level, and finally we talked about the individual level, or also called as organism level, in which we discussed that different levels of organization are just going into a more advanced state by the different levels getting together to get converted into a bigger level. So after that, we have discussed about individual level. Now we are continuing with this different levels of organization. We are having right now is population level. Population level, what is meant by population? Population is a group of individuals which can interbreed to produce fertile offsprings. So here we come across a new group which is made of different individuals or different organisms are just getting together to make a population. What type of organisms are getting together to make population, or what type of individuals are grouped together to make a population, is such type which can interbreed to produce fertile offsprings. Interbreed means which can have their mates of their own kind, so that they can produce offsprings or the generations of their own kind, and these are also responsible or have ability to produce another generation of their own kind. That's why we use the word fertile. Fertile means any organism is said to be fertile if it is able to produce its offsprings of its own type. So for example, we are talking about a certain population. So humans is the best well-known type of population around you, including our own selves, in which a person, a man and a woman, like of same kind, right? Both our individuals are basically of same structure or from same kind or same species. So these organisms or individuals are getting together or mating together to produce a baby of its own kind. Same like that, dogs breed with dogs to produce dogs. Cats breed with cats to produce cats, right? So when we are talking about a fertile generation or a next generation, that is coming because of mating between the two individuals of same kind. And these individuals which are of same kind are collectively called as a population. In a population, members of same species live together, sharing the same habitat. So what is habitat? Habitat is called as any living place in which an organism or an individual lives. So when we are talking about different organisms or individuals living or sharing a common place, then definitely there are resources which are being shared by all these organisms. Like for example, if I'm talking about human population, so basic requirements, okay, by any human population is almost the same. And how is it same? Like for example, every person, every man or woman definitely needs water to live, food to live, must need a mate with whom it can live and produce its fertile generation. So there are the basic things or basic resources which are provided by Almighty Allah, and these resources are all shared by these populations. For example, their living space, their protection, their shelter, their food, and their other basic needs. So according to a survey conducted in 2018, population of Pakistan is 212.2 million, and that is the population which is counting all the members of human population, whether it's about man, it's about woman, or it's about like a baby or a child. Okay, so that is basically, again, a baby is either man or woman type. So all the living organisms which we are having around are not being counted in a population, rather a specific type or species which we count that are living together, that is called as a population. Going to the next level, when definitely we are like grouping on an advanced level or a bigger level, so definitely we are going to add these populations together. Like for example, we are living in an area in which different types of organisms are living, and every different type of organism has its own population. For example, human population is there, dogs population is there, cats population is there. In among the cattle, cows population, buffalo, goat, sheep, different types of plants, different types of bacteria, different types of fungi, different types of viruses. So all these are different populations which you can see around for yourself. Okay, so when we have like for example, there is no area on earth or no zone on earth there where there is only single population. If you are eliminating the bigger levels that you can see for yourself with your eyes, we cannot exclude the bacteria and microorganisms which we cannot see. So definitely there is no life on earth or no zone on earth in which you can have only one single population. So definitely there are populations, different populations living together. And when we have different populations living together, that is then called as a community. So community is an assemblage of different populations sharing same environment. Members belonging to the different species or categories live together. Biotic and abiotic factors affect the organisms living in together. Now, here we have got two new terms, that is biotic and abiotic. Biotic is, as the name indicates, it's something related to living things. And abiotic, A is something that is negating the biotic thing. That means opposite to biotic. So opposite to biotic is definitely non-living factors. If I'm talking about biotic factors that are affecting us are actually different other organisms which are living around. For example, if you are living in a space in which there are many type of pathogenic microorganisms or bacteria, so then there is definitely a fair chance that you are going to have a disease, right? So if you are surrounded by different types of populations of snakes, there is a fair chance that you are going to be bitten. Okay, so these are things which are affecting us. Or for example, we have a shared water place in which there are cattle drinking their water and humans as well. So what is going to be? It is going to be a polluted water. Okay, so there are different biotic factors which are affecting one living together, and there are abiotic factors as well. When we are talking about abiotic factors, that means something that is non-living, that includes the soil, the air around you, and the water around you. So all these things which we are sharing as non-living things also affect our lives. Okay, so members of a community have interrelationships. So like everything is dependent on other. We are dependent on plants. Why? Because if plants are not there, we are not going to have enough oxygen. Plants are depending on us and on the animals and on microorganisms. Why? For the purpose of carbon dioxide. Why? Because plants need carbon dioxide to make their own food. Similarly, there are different bacteria, like for example, good bacteria, like for example, lactobacilli. Lactobacilli is something which is converting milk into yogurt. So when you are eating yogurt, you are eating cheese. So that is something you are having because of these microbes. And microbes are in turn definitely depending on you or other soil ingredients for their own growth. So all these organisms, for their life and for their survival, need another organism, and this type of relationship is called as interrelationship. For example, a forest community, pond community, etc., and there are different communities you can see around yourself. Next thing is the biosphere level. Biosphere is the biggest group or biggest level of all we have studied till now. It is the zone of life on earth. So any area which is having living organisms, any sort of life sign and symptoms, there is called as biosphere. So this is actually part of universe where different communities live and interact with each other as well as the non-living components of earth, and that as a whole is called as biosphere level. So whenever we can see water, we can see like ingredients of soil and the basic bioelements. Just be sure that if there is not an organism that you can see with your eyes, there definitely there's some sort of bacteria or some sort of microbe living there. And if there is even one single microorganism living in a space, that area is definitely called as biosphere, because it is having something that can be called as living thing. So that was all for the levels of organization. In upcoming lectures, inshallah, we'll be discussing these cellular organizations in detail. For now, thank you so much. Good day.